All right. So go ahead and welcome to KW Command Compliance. So we're going to do a quick introduction on that. We have been using .loop for a few years, right?
Yes.
Our relationship with .loop ends in September. So starting September 1st, which is this weekend, really, we are going to start using command for all of our compliance issues. That means for all of your uploading, if you want to use electronic signatures, you will have that through a free DocuSign account that Calvin will purchase for you. If you currently have something in escrow and it's going to close after September 1st, don't worry about it. Keep using .loop. You're going to be able to continue having access to existing loops after September 1st. You won't be able to create new loops. Right. So anything new after September 1st will be what I'm going to show you now. Anything currently in escrow and historical documents will still have access to through .loop. Right. That is what I'm being told. However, they also are in the process of transferring that information over to command so we can have access to that. And you already mentioned that.
Maybe we put it on offer on August 30th. And then
Did you create a loop on August 30th? Yes. Great, that's what I need to know.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, it's when you create the loop, because you can't create a new loop. So if you go into escrow on August 31st, but you don't make the loop until September 2nd, you're using command compliance. Right, so it's the loop that matters. Thank you for that clarification. All right, any other quick questions before we dive on in? And again, this first class at 12 o'clock, this is the fast-paced class. 12:30, I'm going to be repeating all of this information at a normal pace. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Oh, you were giving me thumbs up. Thanks. Appreciate that. All right. So let's go ahead and open up Chrome. Make sure you are using incognito. Always use incognito when accessing KW command. And you're going to go into agents.kw.com, and please, you guys, keep your fingers crossed. As I mentioned, they were working on this all morning, and it just came up about a half an hour ago. And fingers crossed it stays functioning during class, right? So far, so good. Okay. All right, so we are logging into command. And over on the left-hand side, you see your applet. If you ever are not quite sure what an applet is, you can hover over it, or you can click the KW logo, and it comes out exactly what each category is. So we're going to go ahead and click on Opportunities. Opportunities is where compliance and in future commission requests will also be handled. So Opportunity is your opportunity to make money. So it's a potential buyer. I know, right? Potential buyer, potential seller. For those of you with a broker's license in this office, it's also your opportunity for leases and landlords. If you do not have a broker's license, this is buyers and sellers for you. Okay, so you can certainly create an opportunity, and I absolutely suggest it in the future going forward, starting from the cultivation phase or your appointment phase, because you'll be able to set up checklists for yourself, and we will go more in depth on that in the normal pace class that starts at 12:30 today. But for right now, everybody seeing on opportunities? Okay. And again, this is where we're going to be doing all of our document uploading going forward. Okay. So we're going to start, though, by going up to your name in the top right-hand corner and clicking on Settings. You all should see a DocuSign account. Now, some of you might have already started this process. Tom, I know that you did. Oh, you might have, okay. Some of you may have got an email on Friday. It's okay if you did, it's okay if you didn't. Either way, you should see DocuSign as an application. You might have to scroll down a bit. Is it still loading for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know. I won't skip ahead. So once your page loads, you're going to see DocuSign somewhere on this page. What I need you to do is click on Connect next to DocuSign. And if anybody's having issues, just shoot your hand up. Oh, we need to disconnect. No. I want you to connect DocuSign. So some of you may have already done this. If you have already done this, it's okay. If you haven't connected DocuSign, that's what I need you to do right now is connect DocuSign. So don't worry, if yours says authorized, hang out where you are. If it says connect, I I want you to connect it. If it doesn't say connect, you've already done the first step in the last couple of days. Does anybody not see that as an option? Okay, Maggie, what are you seeing?
Go to settings.
Okay, so up on the top right hand corner, you're going to click your name, you're going to click settings, and you're going to look for DocuSign.
And when it says login, you just log in. Just click.
Hang on. Okay, all right.
All the settings?
Okay, so let's all connect together. Okay. So if under settings you see the option to click connect, I want you to click connect. If you see the word authorize, just hang out here, you are good. When you go to connect DocuSign, does anybody in here already have a DocuSign account? Is it and keep your hand up if it's a DocuSign account that you pay for. Okay. If you want to be able to use that exact same DocuSign account that you're already paying for, you're going to need to call DocuSign. If you are okay creating a brand new DocuSign account with a different email address like your Keller Williams one, then you're going to connect with your Keller Williams one now. Does that make sense to the two of you?
So we can have two accounts.
You absolutely can have two accounts. The one that you're using in here is the one that our brokerage will be able to see and have for broker review.
And I still need the other one.
That's totally fine. Christina, did that make sense to you? Mary,
For me, I can just log in with my existing.
you are probably not going to want to log into DocuSign directly when using our brokerage forms, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay. Has everybody now connected your DocuSign account?
This is send registration email.
Go ahead and send a registration email. Thank you.
So if I disconnect account,
Yes.
it's gonna ask me for names.
Yes, you're going to fill in information.
Okay, and I should use another email.
Correct. You don't want to use your existing paid DocuSign account here. If you want to be able to do that, you will need to call DocuSign directly. Mira.
So it says Mira.iyer.kw, which is my registered email here. So do I just send registration?
Yes, perfect.
I'm not, that's all I need.
That's Kelly Martin. I got an authorize to sign it.
You are good. That's why I said if you have authorized, chill out. Stay where you are. You already did the previous steps needed. Okay. Okay. Great. So you guys all got the emails. Go ahead and open up that registration email that you received.
So I need to authorize it.
Not yet, because we're going to all do that together. If yours says authorized, chill out. You are good to go. You are ahead of the class. Yes. To keep it easier on yourself, I recommend keeping your Keller Williams password your DocuSign password. It is one less thing to have to remember, right?
So when we get an email, you accept it.
Yes, accept the email. This is how you're activating your account.
Oh, so it's not the password that goes with my email that I...
You are creating a brand new account with a brand new password. I'm recommending you use your Keller Williams password.
And I accept the invite.
Accept the invite, yes.
It's basically adding all of this to the Keller Williams account that you've purchased.
Yes, this is you being made under our office's umbrella so that we as an office can review your paperwork.
Okay, and it says activate.
And it's giving you a free DocuSign account.
Okay, now, when it says activate your account on a separate page, when I said accept invite, it took me to a page that says activate your account.
Yes, and you should have activated your account. Yes. Did it let you activate your account?
I still haven't.
Okay. Is anybody else stuck at this step? Raise your hand. Oh, sorry. Are you stuck at this point? Okay, then you're good, Christina. Are you stuck? Okay. Okay, no worries. So maybe you'll figure out for the next class. Okay, fantastic. Okay. All right. Is anybody else stuck at this spot? Great. We're going to move along then. Okay. And we are going to go back to our opportunities. So over on the left-hand side, click Opportunities. You should have now activated your DocuSign account under our brokerage. All right. So you are looking at this.
Even for the ones who said authorize?
You should not have said authorized yet because we're just showing out relaxing. Okay, so we are back on opportunities. Is everybody back on a screen that looks something like this? If you are not, we will let Black Rock down. It'll be our code word for emergency. Good? Okay. So you've got a couple of different ways you can do this. The easiest is just to click on Create Opportunity. So we'll go ahead and click Create Opportunity. Select Our Market Center, or select your, so we have people in here from another office, select your market center. If you are not on a team, do not worry about the team name. Go ahead and say that this is a buyer opportunity. And you're going to select a client from your client database. Most of you, if you've been to one of my previous classes, you created yourself as a contact. So if you want to play around with testing this out, I would suggest using yourself as a client. And you absolutely can change the opportunity name to something else if what you're seeing doesn't make sense for you. And that, I believe, other than the commission rate, if it has an asterisk, you need to fill it out right now. And then under the opportunity phase, please move this to active. And then you're going to go ahead and click Create Opportunity. So at this point, you should have just made a buyer opportunity that is an active client. Did anybody get stuck on this? Okay, so this is what an opportunity looks like. It's basic property information that, in client information that you, in the future, you'd have filled out as you move your client along the different stages. And again, we'll go more in depth in that in the class starting at 12:30. And you see your Documents tab up at the top, yes? Mm-hmm. Okay, click Documents tab. And if you feel like you need to take notes, this is where the notes is going to start. Because there's a few steps to get to what we need to do next. You should see a button that says Documents up at the top. Right here, I'm circling around it.
Just a question. So when we authorized it, that is when we filled it out, before it said authorized.
Yeah, we haven't actually authorized it yet.
It's asking me this.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet.
Okay,
Wait,
okay,
I need to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, everybody on the page, it looks like this. Okay, first step is start a transaction. So go ahead and click on Start a Transaction. And what this is doing is it's going to take us into our DocuSign account that we just created. Yes?
I do not have that.
I don't have that.
You have to be under Documents.
I have already added documents. Yeah, me too.
That doesn't.
Okay, so that means that you did not complete your DocuSign activation account.
So I
So
think
that
that
goes back to the email.
I think that is what this was. So unless I click authorize,
It's not letting you do it?
I don't think so. I need.
Right, you shouldn't have to do that because that actually becomes like that.
So there are two authorizations. One is on the settings on command,
Right.
and the other one is through the email that we say accept invite and it takes us to authorize.
Yes. And then what you're supposed to be doing now is supposed to be authorizing it too.
So
If that's not working, go back to your command settings and click authorize.
okay, so not the that was
Because I did complete it in the email.
Okay, so if you do not
Oh,
see
okay,
the
authorize.
transaction button, go back to command settings and click authorize.
Okay. Okay. It's asking us for the DocuSign password now.
Perfect.
Okay, got it.
Right, so I have to go back to
Okay, if anybody is stuck, just let me know.
If I ask, what you have up on the screen, I'm in.
Then you're golden.
Yeah, once authorized to this.
Okay. Sorry, I did this half an hour ago when it came up and running, and it let me authorize it through this process, so I apologize if they changed it.
So now we go back.
So remember how you get the opportunities? You're always going to click on opportunities.
It says multiple users would be.
Okay, so if you're having an issue with DocuSign specifically, I don't want to address it right now in class. Let's you and I figure out what that is afterwards. Okay. So is everybody on a page that looks like this and that transaction button popped up for you? Awesome, okay. So go ahead and you should be able to see that we are, oh, let me go ahead. And over here on the left-hand side, this is saying, that's funny. So it does say listing documents. We are in a buyer set. I'm not sure why it says listing documents. I'll send in a ticket to tech support. Where it says consultation,
Yeah.
they also know that is the first thing that you do. They're also going to be changing that. Consultation is before you're under contract. So maybe you do a buyer representation exclusive. Or maybe you get that agency disclosure and possible representation of more than one buyer or seller signed at the very beginning. You would put those in consultation. Okay, but for now, we're just going to go straight to under contract. So as long as you have under contract highlighted, you're going to see the list of every single document that is required, conditionally required, or optional when working with a buyer. You guys see this long list of documents? Okay. For now, these documents are alphabetical. Within about a month, Keller Williams is going to give us the option to have a lot of different kinds of transactions. So we'll be able to say buyer condo townhouse, or buyer with an HOA, buyer mobile home, buyer land. As of right now, we don't, and so this list is long. When that becomes available, I will let all of you know, of course, that it'll be a little bit more easier for us to see everything, right? Okay. So the first thing that we can do is if we come up here and say add document, let's click on add document. And now you have the option to either add a document from your computer because maybe the property inspector emailed you the PDF and you need to upload that, right? But what we're going to do is starting from scratch, we're going to click on DocuSign.
Wait, do that, go back, where was that? So we're not doing add document?
Okay, so I'm here on opportunities and I clicked on add document, but it didn't let me, so I'm going to go back to go to transaction. And this should open up DocuSign. It's going to ask me to log into my DocuSign account. And for most of us, that's the one that we just created a few minutes ago. Yes, there's a hand.
Yeah, mine, oh, never mind.
Mine says start a transaction, is that different than go to transaction?
Click on start a transaction first because you need to, so starting, okay. So just some terminology. .loop called a transaction a loop, right? DocuSign calls a transaction a room. That's just their terminology. Okay. So in order to get access to a room, you have to start a transaction first. And then you have the ability to go to that transaction. Does that make sense? Okay.
Okay, Kelly, quickly. When I saw you had two Kelly Cody's and you clicked on the first one, right?
Yes.
That's the exact thing that I have too.
Great. So I just click on the first one.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Uh-oh, I clicked authorize, darn it.
That's okay. It just takes you back to commands. So go back to DocuSign. And you see where it says add documents to your room?
Yeah.
Click on that big button. Now this is us having the opportunity to grab PDFs from our computer. All right? So this is that property inspection that they sent you over. This is one of the attorney drafted documents that we have, like the square footage advisory, MLS exclusion form. Well, that was the thing. Okay. All right, so we now have a room created. Yes? Great. So we're going to go back to command documents.
How do you know what you know is?
Is everybody back on this page?
Yeah. How did you go back on that?
I just clicked back and forth between the back. Yep. So I didn't click the back button, I just clicked on my tab.
Wait, so you're gonna do this again at 12:30?
I did exactly the back
Okay, so if you guys are lost like me, so
Okay, but hang out, the regular class is 12:30, this is the fast-paced class. Okay, and now you should be able to click on add a document, and you're having an option to add it from DocuSign. Christmas.
Oh, your computer.
That one is.
From DocuSign or your computer?
We don't want to add it to the computer, we actually want to connect our DocuSign account. All right, let's try this one more time. We're going to add from, there we go. Okay. Whew, alrighty. So now I'm on the DocuSign page. Up under add.
Oh, then you're making work, because it's not working.
Okay, so give me a few minutes. Do you see a page that looks like this, Clara?
No.
Okay, so do you see a page that looks like
Yes,
this?
I do.
Okay, when you click go to transaction, right here,
Yes.
you get a page that looks like this. Yes?
Okay, yes.
Yes, great. Up here where it says add,
Yes.
I now have the option to add from Zipforms. That's what I'm going to click on, is Zipform. And now it's probably going to ask you to log into your Zipform account. It's probably going to ask you to do this every single day, but just once a day. And that is because Zipforms needs to make sure that the people who are using their documents are actually paying for their documents. So this is why you need your Zipforms username and password. So go ahead and log into Zipforms, and you can see this is the list of all the Zipforms transactions that I have going on in here. Or you'll be able to click Create. Is anybody still logging in? Is anybody stuck?
So add.
Authenticated, that is not the correct username and password. Make sure that you are 100% positive on that. I thought I was earlier, and then went back and realized that I had to capitalize something.
I have the same issue. I'm 100% positive that's
And it's not getting you in? Okay. And caps lock's not on, and your username is correct? From Zipforms. Okay, perfect. It worked to get into Zipforms, it's not working to get you into DocuSign.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got 3 of you who are in the problem. Is anybody successfully getting into where I have gotten?
No. How do I get to add to the report?
You click the button that says add. So let me see it. Is anybody working with, is anybody making this work? Is this working 100% for everybody? Because if it's not right, I will just, we can start over. All right. Yes?
Yes.
I get it to the point where it says add document,
Yep.
but I don't have the DocuSign alongside of it.
Transaction, I have that. Okay. So yeah, we'll go back to that discussion.
Same thing, right now, it's saying.
Okay, so there's definitely some issues with just being able to log in. Okay.
Oh, Zipforms stubborn. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay. Is everybody okay if we just start from scratch now?
Yes.
Because if anybody's not, you've got 5 minutes. I want to make sure. All right, if you are having an actual problem logging into Zipforms, I don't think I can solve that problem for you. Nope. Right. And Lima, you confirmed that you logged into Zipforms directly. Using the password worked. It's not working here. Mary, same thing. Kevin, same thing. Okay. Alrighty. Let's figure this one out. Cancel. And let me log out. And do. Okay. All right. So let's just all start from the beginning. We are on command. Okay. Everybody, please take out your computers. Make sure you are in incognito mode. If you are not in incognito mode, some of this will not work.
Can we all just clap for Kelly Cody right now?
And thank you guys for being a part of this. I think we are officially the first class being taught that this wasn't functioning on Friday. So,
Woohoo, Kelly!
it doesn't look like it's still 100%. But then we 45 minutes ago. Okay. So, if anybody needs to look up your Zipforms username and password, now is your chance. Yeah. Okay. Did you bring a laptop, Lindsay? She's a heavy user in this, right?
Yeah.
She uploads a lot of documents. She's like, okay. And Lindsay, you should have access to a button that says Cloud Morph at the top, and when you click on Opportunities, everything else should be the exact same. Okay. Now you'll just get into this slightly different.
Why are you opening that?
Because I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do the Zipforms thing. Like, yeah.
Okay. Are we all ready to start? Where's your prep? You have a page that looks like this. It is the command home page.
Oh, I can do that.
All right. And again, you need to be an incognito. If you are not an incognito, you will have weird issues. Always, not just today, always be an incognito.
Always, always, always.
For command at least. Okay. All right, so we are calling this opportunities. And go ahead and click on the opportunities button. That's the two hands shaking. And like I said a little bit ago, it's your opportunity to make money. And you'll be able to see over on the right-hand side, it even tells you with what you currently are working on in terms of cultivating buyers and sellers, what you have under contract. It says out of everything that I have, my potential income is $67,000 out of my current pipeline. However, based on my conversion rates or Keller Williams conversion rates, your conversion rates are calculated for you after 50 closings. So until 50 closings, they just give you the Keller Williams overall conversion rates, because we know what 180,000 agents' conversion rates are. And so it's saying based on those conversion rates, here's my probable income. Now looking at $46,000, that is not enough money for me to fund my life. So what does that mean I need to do?
Get more business.
Exactly, I need to add more people to my pipeline.
Lead generate.
All right. So once you've got this, go ahead and click on Listings Cultivate. Does everybody see that button? Okay. Listings Cultivate. And yours might look a little bit different than mine, and that's because I have edited my stages. I have made the decision to say, no, I want to be nurturing somebody, or they don't want to buy a house for another like 1 to 2 years. We all come across those, right? Or sell a house, sorry. And then I've got my hot leads. And the reason that you want these different categories is this is where you're going to be having your messaging. So do I treat people differently if they're a hot lead versus they want to sell their house in 1 to 2 years? Yeah, for sure I do. So you don't have to do these changes now, but start thinking, what do you want to call your different phases and stages? And to edit those, you just click the Edit Stages button, and this is where you can delete different phases. And this is where you can add checklists to say, hey, when I work with a client and they are a hot lead, this is the list of things that I want to do with them. This is what I want to make sure that I'm performing on a regular basis with these clients at different phases. Does that make sense? Okay. And so if you click here under Sales Pipeline, it'll take us right back to the previous page. And this is where we can see clients who are, again, at the different stages. You can see here in my testing, I've got 1 in cultivation, 1 in appointment, 5 in active. And let's say I go to appointment. If I click on appointments, I can move just by clicking and dragging and dropping. I can move an opportunity from different phases to different stages. So again, click, drag, drop, and now we've kept our appointments, and I click, drag, drop up to active, and now I have an active listing.
And how you create it in these boxes?
Yeah, you click on Create Opportunity, or within the client contact itself, you can click on a button that says Create Opportunity. So you have a couple of different ways. And then the third one is when you're entering in a client or a contact name for the very first time, there's a box on that contact card that says Add to Sales Pipeline. This is your sales pipeline. Lauren.
I have found that it doesn't work that way. I've found that right now it only works to click the Create Opportunity box.
Thank you. Did you,
No,
that's okay.
no.
Whenever you have problems or issues within Command, there's this question mark up here at the top. This question mark has the options to say, yeah, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing, and so we have the Keller Williams University, and this is telling you what you should be doing. But if you're like, no, I know what I should be doing, and it's not working, you can do a live chat with support. And if you see something, or if you don't see something that you think would be helpful, you can then post an idea, and this goes directly to ideas.kw.com. So this question mark has the, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I do know what I'm supposed to be doing and it's not working. And the, hey, I have a cool idea to make this better for everyone. All right. So, does everybody at this point have something either in active or under contract? Yes? If you do not, it honestly doesn't matter at this point.
Okay, because you get told to the buyer before.
That's okay, right. As long as you have some buyer is fine. If you don't currently have something either active or under contract, I want you to make one now. And if you want to go back to buyer, we can go back to buyer. Because Lena, I think that's where we were previously. Yeah.
Oh, because that's, got it.
And does anybody need help creating an opportunity? Because I can help you. All right. I'm going to turn the lights on. These are probably. Oh, okay, you're going to do that. So, click on the button up at the top right below to create opportunity. So your top right, see that button says create opportunity? Click on that. And you're going to put in the name of the client. And maybe I would suggest using yourself. No. Okay, so you're Gateway, right? Right, that's our office. Perfect. And under client, I'm going to recommend that you not use a real human being, right? That you use yourself as your Anybody else having issues creating an opportunity?
When I go to a buyer,
So have you created yourself in contacts yet? No. Okay, then let's go ahead and do that. So you're going to close out, you're going to go to contacts, and you're going to create a contact that's yourself. Yes. And then I'm just going to put your contact underneath your chair, okay? Wonderful. So yours is in cultivation. I'm going to want you to drag and drop it either active or under contract. So just click the drag and drop up under the word that says active or under contract. Yes, you have to. Great. So under the name of your client, I would suggest that you not use a real client. Use yourself as a client. And then under the bottom left, what's the options you have there? Very bottom left. Down one more, what's up there? Change that to be active. Because we want an active or under contract. That's it. And then create. Should be good. Okay, so you're going to add yourself. So let's exit out of this. You're going to go back to contacts. And you're going to add yourself as the contact. It's a little key. Yes. Yep. Yes. So this is a real one. Alright, so then you can just click drag and drop it close if you want. Yep, drag and then click drag, drop. That's good for you. Alright, you're good. You're good. So yeah, you're going to say add contact. And then you're going to put your name. And then name is the only thing that we need to have with mandatory. Alright, anybody else stuck or having issues? We are right now just creating an opportunity that is either active or under contract. Did you create the contact? So you need to scroll down. Oh, always accept. Okay, so scroll down. And then click create. And now you can go back to opportunities and create an opportunity with yourself as the client. Yes, Maria.
So when I went to submit, it went back. It didn't have to fill the requirement.
So you do have a client in there, and I'm going to suggest that you use yourself as the client. Okay, so try typing in Maria. And then stop, and then scroll down. Is Maria Batista on that list?
we have to add the contact.
No.
Okay, so did you ever add yourself as a contact?
I don't think so.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. If you've ever attended one of my contact classes, you should have yourself in there. And for those of you who have not attended a contacts class, I teach it once a month, and I think the next one is in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. All right, anybody else having issues? Raise your hand. Okay. Great. So you want to create an opportunity. So how do you create an opportunity? Awesome. That's exactly it.
I was going to mention if they don't want to wait 3 weeks for your
Oh,
class.
thank you.
What's another way that they
Right.
can...
You have tons and tons and tons of, I think you so much, Laura. Tons and tons and tons and tons of education opportunities available to you. on KW Connect. So while everybody's creating an opportunity, let me just show you where you can find all of these. Yeah, because you don't want to use a real client, right? Whenever you're testing stuff out, you never want to test something out on a real client. Yeah. Well, if you're doing one for real, my suggestion is that when we're testing, don't test on real. Okay, so when you log into KW Connect under Resources, the very first option says Connect Live. These are classes that are being taught live, and they're recorded. And you can see the calendar coming up has, let's see here, oh man, I love that class. There's a designs class. Here is a tech. That's usually a good indicator that it's a commands class. So they're teaching on Thursday, in just a few days, they're teaching a designs class. That afternoon, they're teaching this class, although not California specific. It's generic for the country. But if you need a refresher, you can always come back on Thursday afternoon. Friday, they're talking about transitioning your business into command. And then next week after Labor Day, we have getting started in command. Contact, step 1. Like you can see, every single day there is a different kind of technology class. Some days there's more than one. And to access these recordings, you just click here on Connect Live on Demand. They will have the most recent version of every class recorded available to you. So you do not have to wait for live classes in this office.
And they have these classes recorded so you can watch them.
Yeah, this button right here is where all the recordings are.
You don't have to wait for live classes on there either, you can go to the recording.
Right here where it says Connect Live on Demand, those are the recorded classes. Okay, so does everybody have an opportunity created now? Fantastic, all right. So go ahead and click on your active or under contract transaction, and you should be on a page that looks like this. You're on your details page, yes? Does anybody not raise your hand? Awesome, all right. So now go ahead and click on documents. And again, if you fall a step behind, shoot your hand up in the air. I don't want to get too far ahead.
Mine's just spinning.
It's just spinning. Okay, is anybody else that's just spinning? It's just loading? Is yours now good?
Still spinning.
Maybe hit refresh up at the top.
Yeah, fine.
Oh, it is spinning. Okay. So just so I can get a feel for where we are, raise your hand if you have the Go to Transaction or Start Transaction button. Okay, and raise your hand if you don't. Okay. For those of you who don't, follow me. If those of you who see this button, do not stay where you are. You're good, yes? Okay. So for those of you who do not see this button, we are going to go up to our settings, and click on your name, click on settings, and you should see DocuSign. Does it say anything other than disconnected account? Go ahead and click authorize then. Authorize? Let's click authorize.
We send an email which
Do you see a button that says authorize? Yes? Okay, click on authorize.
It doesn't do it, click on it, it's just like.
Okay, so it's possible that you have a pop-up blocker in place. So let's take a look. You do not. When you click on authorize, do that with your list on this one. I click that resend email. Go back to resend email, go back to your email and buyer. Yes, let's go to a new window. Nope, yep. Just go to your email and see if you can find that email. Anybody else stuck on getting this authorized?
There you go. So, see?
You're good. You're good. You're seeing exactly what I see. Perfect. That's what we wanted to have happen. Okay.
So once we, accept invite, is that what?
Yep. Go ahead and accept your invite.
Yeah, so it should be good.
Ready underneath the
That
computer?
part, but even though I can create a contact and an opportunity, it still doesn't.
Okay. Anybody have any questions about opportunities in general while some of us are doing this stuff? Anybody questions about opportunities in general or even command in general?
Okay.
Okay, so sheet, if you've already signed in, you're fine. If you haven't, please sign your name in and then pass it to the next person.
Yeah, there he is, Joseph. Done.
Okay, anybody else having an issue? Yes.
DocuSign collection, do I need to send registration?
So does yours look like this yet? Yours looks just like this, so disconnect.
So she hasn't done it.
She hasn't done it yet, then yes, I need you to register. Gotta get you in there.
Thank you.
Yours.
I'll have to hand it to you.
What was that? Fantastic, glad to hear.
In the early stages.
Oh, good.
Kelly, how do you get that started transaction?
Do a transaction.
So you need to go into settings.
I mean, I
So under your name, so your name on the top right, and you click on settings.
or until.
And then your DocuSign, I need it to look like mine, where it says disconnect account. So if yours doesn't say disconnect account, click the green button. And then I don't click that except for the green button because it's hiding something you need to know. There you go.
Record.
So you're going to go to that email that was just sent to you, and you're going to click the link inside of that email. Great, everybody, the whole company is learning this together. Great. This is not easy for anybody right now. And so how do we get things to become easier? We do that. We practice over and over and over. In fact, if you have a second right now, I would find a buddy in this room with whom you will practice. Say, hey, I'm gonna make you a contact in my system, and I'm gonna send you documents to sign, and then you can send me documents to sign, and we'll do a practice. So if you haven't already found a practice buddy, grab a practice buddy now.
Boy, isn't that
And it sounds like we've already got a partner here. They're dibs on each other. He just is like, you're mine.
just here in my,
So is everybody authorized their DocuSign account now? If you haven't, please raise your hand.
I did, it said something went wrong, and so.
Okay, great, so let's open it up to, oh, go on.
I didn't know I did a laptop.
Okay, so yeah, that's a good point of view. Always, always, always bring your laptop to these command classes. They are always workshops. Yes.
Did you guys all hear me say, yay?
Who just said that? Oh.
you don't want to hear a bad day, a good day.
That's the problem.
So, is anybody else not?
I just have a question. So if I currently have a DocuSign account,
You could just.
is this a different DocuSign account?
Yes. So there's a couple of different things that you can do with that. The first one, here, I'll turn the light on. Okay, so Yanni talked about what if I already have a DocuSign account. So you have two options. If you really, really, really want to use that DocuSign account as under the KW umbrella, you are going to need to call DocuSign. You're going to change the email address of that account and then create your new one using that email address. Most people in this room, actually I think everybody in this room who already have an account, are just making a new one with their KW email. But the option is there for you to use that email address with a new account. Because in order for it to be under our umbrella for review, it has to be a new one.
So I just need to find out what my KW email is.
And if you don't know what your KW email is, you can come see me or Melissa, and we can get that for you. It's a real fast process. Okay. So everybody ready to actually start doing a transaction with our fingers crossed that it links to DocuSign? Okay. Okay. Every finger actually. There we go. Are we open to this? Okay, so head on over to Opportunities if you're already in Opportunities. Stay where you are. So click on Opportunities. Now your computer, click on Opportunities. And if you don't know what they are, remember you can always click the KW logo. You can click the KW logo. So is everybody, other than me, click yes.
I know. All different languages. Yeah, I know.
Two days. You guys are so easy. Yeah, we're clicking on Opportunities. And those are there. If you're already in Opportunities, stay in Opportunities. And mine is waiting. Yeah, cool. You're good. That's exactly what I want to see. You're good. All right, let's It's not the internet because it's loading my other pages really quickly. I just tested. It's opportunities, which is not surprising because remember how I said at the beginning that this wasn't even functioning an hour ago at this point?
Yeah, actually, it's not operating at all because of opportunity right now.
Yep, it's actually down again. No. Okay, so if you are on opportunities, please stay there. And if you are near somebody who is in opportunities, peer over their shoulder because we're going to have to keep moving.
Kelly, are they going live with it in this state?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Are they going live with it in this?
We already got live. And remember, okay, so maybe I can say it again. Starting September 1st, anything that is a new transaction that you have not yet put in .loop needs to go into command compliance. So that is this weekend. And yes, we already have access to Zipforms through here. Yeah, you're getting the same thing that I'm getting. So that's why I said if you have a person next to you who is in opportunities, maybe bribe them right now. Find out their favorite restaurant. Yeah, right. This is a lot of us getting this.
But this will be happening when we go live, is what I'm hearing. Because
Well, this has been happening for a year and a half.
no, I mean the fact that we can't do an opportunity at times.
Yeah, and .loop sometimes goes down.
You're all right.
Right. I mean, like there is no perfect system, and we're all just kind of in this together.
I'm hearing you. I'm
All
feeling.
right. Yeah. We'll try again in half an hour kind of thing. But so please raise your hand so I know who is in opportunities right now. Oh, nice. Good number of people. Okay. We are about to find out. All right. So Beatrice, for example, is inside an opportunity. I want you to click on Go to Transaction. If you have the button saying Go to Transaction, click on it, and they're all ready for you. It's working now.
I haven't started.
Then click on Start a Transaction. If you have the button saying Start a Transaction, please click Start a Transaction.
I just.
Oh. Okay, so those of you who wasn't working, it looks like it might be working now.
Okay, go to transaction. There you go.
Okay. So everybody should be able to do this now, because it is working. The page is functioning for everybody. Okay, so if anybody doesn't see Go to Transaction or Start a Transaction, please raise your hand.
I don't see starting transaction.
Do you see Go to Transaction?
I didn't see what you said.
Maybe I have to go.
No problem. You're actually already there. Click Go to Transaction.
You
and
have to
tell
go
me
into
where you are.
one of your. You have to go into an active client to see that.
So you are still in Cultivate, so I need you to drag and drop this either active or under contract. Oh, great. So let's click on, no, so let's click on active. And there you go. So let's click on that one right there.
So you can drag it to.
Just drag and drop.
There's nowhere to drag it to.
So where is your, so you've got a couple buyer active, so that's cool. Click on one of those.
Yeah, so I can't drag it.
You can click drag drop.
Oh, into here?
Yeah.
I thought it was like.
But it doesn't need to be because it works with active. So open up either one of them. I don't care which. I really don't. It doesn't matter. I either active or under contract, and I want you to open up a transaction.
Open up the transaction.
Yes, please.
I'm not seeing the transaction.
Perfect.
So you have to click on him to go to add the
Great. And now click on the word document. And you see the word that says start a transaction. As soon as it finishes doing a little circle, you're going to click on that. And then it should say go to transaction. Because right now it's creating a room inside of document.
Get the
As
same.
soon as it finishes, then it'll say go to transaction. So it is. Great. Click on go to transaction. Yeah, we're in opportunities right now.
We're in that state.
What is your circling on?
I clicked on the user, or the buyer, so that I could create a, what are we doing?
Opportunity.
No, not a transaction.
You're not clicking on opportunity.
Transaction.
Same thing, opportunity or transactions.
Oh.
Command.
I think we're both in the same state. We're in the same place.
Okay, so again, if something isn't working on your computer for whatever reason, let me know. If it's a like circling, I can't fix that. So be friends with the person sitting next to you who is working.
I want to be your enemy. Are you in play? I'm afraid to get out opportunity. Oh, wait a minute. I got this. It's the same crash.
So did everybody click on the button saying go to transactions?
Down again.
And did it get you to this page? And then you log into your DocuSign account that you just created in the last hour. Okay? And we click continue. And of course, I didn't use my same KOB password, which is why I recommended it, because I'm going to shoot all my passwords. Okay, and is anybody else getting this error message? No? Just me? Just me? Okay. There's nothing we can do about that. I wish I could fix that, but there's nothing we can do. If DocuSign and Command are just having some issues right now, I cannot fix that. I'm sure like everything else, though, it's going to be up in just a few minutes. Right, we have to be patient and then we'll try it again. Is anybody's yes working? Okay, and what was the next step that you got then?
Congratulations.
I seriously, I got it. I started in my office right now. Does anybody else see a beautiful congratulations ring? These are fantastic. It's fantastic. Wonderful. Oh, you shouldn't have to do that. I go over here. You shouldn't have to do that. No, you don't want to do that. Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's like sit right there. Scroll up.
I haven't started creating an opportunity button. I'm in the actual buyer opportunity contract. I just don't know where it is. I never saw that little.
Okay, check. Look at the page.
Okay, so what happens here is that I have to run a transaction.
Give them a couple years. It's just getting real. It just takes.
And now go to the
I know about that, yeah.
You really have to.
I know you're not here for using
I go to the one
Okay,
in
so,
yeah, I went to my active one, and then I couldn't.
okay, does everybody, so for those of you who are on a page like me, again, buddy up with a friend.
I still don't know where to go.
Yeah, so that's what everybody's getting at. So for those of you who are taken into a transaction room, can you raise your hand so I can see who's where? All right, so for those of you who are not raising your hands, what's the issue? Where are you stuck?
It doesn't have that up. It doesn't say create a transaction. We're all like.
You're in an opportunity and it's not letting you go to a
We're all
transaction.
under opportunity under contract, and we don't.
So go to documents. So go to your documents. Just remember, that's when you need to upload documents in the documents tab, and now click start transaction.
Okay, that was too easy.
All right, who else is stuck?
I need step.
Is anybody else stuck right now?
They probably have it all.
Okay, yeah, no, sorry, yeah. So if you're stuck on something that's functioning, that's actually working, please raise your hand. All right, Kevin and then Tom.
You said function.
I said if it's, so like the page, like if you have an error message like this, I can't help you. But if you're stuck on something, please raise your hand. So I'm trying to figure out, making sure everybody's, well, I want you to stay there. I'm trying to get everybody to the page that you're on. B, you already jumped ahead, so, all right. Anybody else stuck? Not sure what they're doing?
I know, you're right.
Yes, Maggie.
So on your documents, I can see my.
So do we need
That's okay.
it's all integrated?
All right, so I need you to go to an active or under contract transaction. Active or under contract, Maggie?
We just stopped chatting because we already.
No, I know it's not. Empty happy hour with booze, and that is enough. Okay, perfect. So if you click on that, I lying down. Yeah, right there, click on it, right? And now click on the Documents tab. Remember, in order to upload documents, you have to be in the Documents tab.
I concentrate more.
Now say close the transaction, start a transaction. Perfect, stay right where you are, no, we're stuck now.
That doesn't take much.
If anybody near you is stuck, Maggie, help me out by having them do the same thing. So go to transaction, Great, go to transaction. Okay.
Oh, I see, that'll take us to the DocuSign.
Yes.
So,
Right.
so the KW command, like, isn't it integrated to where we don't need to do everything twice?
You will not have to do any kind of dual entry very, very soon. Now, in terms of paperwork, never. Because what's happening is that KW Command has partnered up with DocuSign for document storage and electronic signatures.
Yes.
And DocuSign has a partnership with Zipforms. So when we go into Command, it ports us into DocuSign and then ports us into Zipforms, brings those forms that we request out of Zipforms into DocuSign for filling out, for digital signatures, and it automatically brings them into compliance.
So we'll be able to go into the Zipforms and export them to...
Please do not go directly into Zipforms. It will not work well.
I just got an email saying rooms notification added to the room.
Cool.
What does that mean?
You probably created yourself as a client, remember? And then you created a test opportunity. That is what your client would see. That's why, that's why we want to test things out always, not with real human beings.
So we're gonna go to KW command. We're going to KW command initially.
Always.
Instead of going to car.org.
Yes.
Just to build that.
Because ideally, you should only ever have to go to one place to do your business,
So,
right?
yeah, as long as we're integrated in the connection, yeah, it'll work.
All right, this is important. I want to have a conversation so that everybody understands this. Okay, everybody ready? Yes. And you're distracting me with that. I'm putting them in the background instead. All right. So, you should only ever have to log into Command for your business. To do everything in your business, you should only need one website, and that website is Command. That manages your contacts. It manages your marketing, your communication. It will soon manage also your scheduling and calendaring. It handles now all of your transactions from nurturing all the way through close, and then bringing them back into campaigns, and so now you've got them on an after-close campaign, so you stay in communication with them to get referrals in future business. One website, and that website is Command. Does that make sense? Okay. So again, best case scenario, other than your Zipforms username and password, you should only ever need Command, which is your KW username and password. One place, and because you've got a contact here, and you've added in their information in your contact management, you don't need to add it again then in the opportunity. You shouldn't need to add it again then in the transactional paperwork. And you shouldn't have to keep putting your listing in this website, and this website, and this website, and this website, because as soon as it goes in the MLS, it's going to automatically populate into KWLS 2.0, which automatically populates out for all of your marketing pieces too. It accesses photos of the property from the MLS. It accesses data on the property from the MLS. So again, one main point should be everything. Does that answer your question, Stephen?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, so is everybody on a, other than an Alex, let's you and I try it again, because it's been a few minutes. You and I are in trouble. We did something to somebody. Okay, so for everybody else, are you in a page? Hey, B, can I hold up your computer for a second? Should be in a page that looks something like this. Yes, everybody gets this? Do you see up here where it says add?
Yes.
Click add, and then Zipforms should be your third option down. Please click Zipforms. If anybody didn't see Zipforms, now is your chance. Okay. Is it asking you to log into Zipforms?
Yes.
Please try.
Was this just to say
Yes.
this is our cars?
Yes, everybody tried it. Oh, is it?
Yeah, they're having a problem.
Okay. It was working. And it was working for me an hour and a half ago.
Wait, can I just ask, when you say log into Zipforms, is the same as logging into car?
Yes.
Okay.
Log into car, purchase
Nikki's is working?
It's asking her to link her Zipform account.
Yes.
But then.
That's what she wanted to do. Go.
Let's see what happens.
Okay. I think Nikki's the golden child right now. Is anybody else having an issue other than a message saying that it can't connect? Brian, what issue are you experiencing?
So I click on Zipforms and it just tells me that I can't authenticate anything.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's,
know
that's,
one
that's the one I.
Yeah, that's what everybody's getting right now. Yeah. All right.
They're as lucky as we are, bro.